Hi, everyone. This is Michelle Gramoglia, the president and CEO here at Woodland Pond, and this is my weekly address for a Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, July 18th, 2023. I have quite a few things to go over today for my address, but I'd like to start by reminding everyone of a couple of events that are happening on campus today. First and foremost, we do have an ice cream social today on campus going from 1 till 3 p.m. Right off the back of the pub. So we'll have games and music and a time to socialize, and most importantly, ice cream sundaes. The sundaes will be $6 with $3 of the proceeds going to the Alzheimer's Association, which is a great proceed there, 50%. So you can enjoy as much ice cream as you would like for that fee, and that can go on your decline, or you can pay with a check or cash. So you can go ahead and enjoy those ice cream sundaes. Also today from 2 until 3 p.m. So you've got about 2 hours to go scurry and clean out your closets and drawers. Today is an opportunity to donate your clothing to the very noble cause that is Caitlin Murray. This is the woman that has the clothing business where she repurposes used clothing and into new clothing that she upcycles to make into new pieces of clothing. So you can take your old clothing and bring that to the pack today between 2 and 3 p.m. It should be clean, no underwear, please. So you can do that today between 2 and 3 p.m. I know I brought a big bag of clothes from my drawers today, so that's very exciting. Okay, let's see what else do we have going on this week. Some really important stuff. Just of note, tomorrow we do have a marketing is going to be having a resident panel luncheon tomorrow from 11 until 1 p.m. in the dining room. Thank you very much to the residents that are participating in that. This is always an excellent event. We have over 50 attendees, I think, coming tomorrow. They always get a ton out of this. So again, thank you to the residents that are participating in that. So you will see a number of us participating in that and guests to the campus. Tomorrow we also have, and please do really plan on attending this tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. in the PAC. We will have a management Q&A. And I know that a lot of you have not been attending this in person, but tomorrow I really think that you should plan on attending in person. You're going to want the opportunity to ask questions. The purpose of management Q&A is to be able to ask questions, but especially tomorrow, I think that there will be things that you're going to want to ask questions about because you're going to hear a lot about the emergency response multi-agency drill that we've been talking a little bit about. You're going to really start to hear a lot of details about this drill that we're having on October 4th. You're going to hear about who's going to be involved. What is some of the preparation for this drill? What is it going to entail? What do you need to plan for? We are going to be giving you a lot of advanced information because we want you to be prepared. There are going to be service interruptions on campus on October 4th. You are going to need to make plans and change your plans for that day. And we are giving you ample notice, and we want you to start being prepared for that. So tomorrow's management Q&A at 1:30 p.m. in the PAC is going to start to really introduce those kinds of details. Again, we are going to do this in person. These are going to come out in writing, and we're going to do this frequently. In addition to beginning to introduce those topics tomorrow, we are also going to be informing you of an information session that's going to be held by the Ulster County Emergency Preparedness Director in August. This is a major event that's going to be happening on campus in October, and there are going to be a number of steps that we need all of you to be aware of. And so we really want you to attend this management Q&A tomorrow in person at 1:30 in the PAC. If you absolutely can't attend in person, it will be live streamed on WPTV channel 1340, and you will be able to attend it virtually. We will re-air it, but really do try to attend that in person if you can. And we have a number of other updates that we're going to want you to be there for, but it is a great meeting and it's a great place to meet your neighbor. So try to attend that tomorrow. Let's see. A couple of other things for your calendar. On Friday, the 21st at 2 p.m., the Mental Health and Wellness Task Force is really excited. We're going to be having a panel discussion talking about transitions. This is something that our Mental Health and Wellness Task Force has identified is a major topic of real impact here at the community. We've really tried to identify those areas that have a significant effect on our residents here at the community, especially on mental health and wellness. And there is without a doubt a huge impact on how residents feel just by virtue of transitions to Woodland Pond. So when you leave your primary residence and you come to Woodland Pond, that transition is hugely impactful. So we want to talk about that transition. And then there are the transitions that happen within Woodland Pond. So when you leave from independent living and you go maybe to assisted living, or your spouse goes from independent living maybe to memory care or to skilled nursing, or you do the same. Each of these levels of transition is very, very impactful. And our Mental Health and Wellness Task Force has really identified that this is something we should be talking about a lot more, and we really don't talk about it at all. So this panel discussion on Friday, which is going to be at 2 p.m. in the PAC, is going to be our first real entree into that, delving into that topic. So we hope you join us. And then on Monday at 10 a.m. in the conference room, we're going to have a roundtable for anyone that's interested in having just a roundtable discussion to follow up on the panel. So please mark your calendars for that. Let's see. The next thing to talk about is on Tuesday of next week, we are going to be having a hot breakfast buffet. This is also going to benefit the Alzheimer's Association. We don't do a lot of hot breakfasts around here. We are going to be putting a sign up at the hostess station today. So you can sign up for that. It's going to be from 8 until 10 a.m. This is a nice opportunity for those of you that are missing a nice hot breakfast and you don't have to prepare it for yourself. I'll make sure that Cameron puts the full menu there so that you know what is going to be offered. It is $10, but 50% of that will go to the Alzheimer's Association fundraiser. And the executive team will be serving that breakfast. So it's going to be a great time to come and enjoy a nice breakfast, nice hot cup of coffee, enjoy the fellowship with your neighbors, and enjoy a wonderful breakfast buffet. So again, that's going to be next Tuesday morning from 8 until 10, and we hope you join us there. We do have, I don't know if you've all seen this, but some really startling information came out. And this is really why next week we've got Meg Boyce from the Alzheimer's Association coming. This is going to be the first among a whole series of educational seminars that the Alzheimer's Association of the Hudson Valley has designed specifically for Woodland Pond. She's coming out and she's going to talk to you about sort of just some general information about Alzheimer's and the Alzheimer's Association, just to kind of introduce the topics in general. And then we really start going into really some more specific tools, techniques, resources, caregiver support. We've got a whole series of things planned, but the reason I bring this up is because just yesterday, I don't know if you've all seen in the news, but a study was released that indicates Alzheimer's prevalence by region in the country. And actually CNN did a graphic, and we shared this amongst our Mental Health and Wellness Task Force. If you didn't see it, you can search it up online. If you look at New York State, there's something quite startling if you look at the graphic. Ulster County stands out as one of the highest prevalence of Alzheimer's in the state. So it's a graphic that shows, darker colors that this study released of where Alzheimer's is prevalent. And Ulster County actually stands out as one of the highest in New York State. And so the study is really looking at, where is it prevalent? And I'm sure that there is, the research is being done as to, what are the drivers of that and why is this happening? So it really is. I've talked about the fact that it is a scourge at Woodland Pond. I'm really going to start talking about the numbers behind what it costs Woodland Pond to care for a resident with Alzheimer's, because of course, that there's a cost component for us to care for each of you. Of course, you pay for your fees here, but there is an actual incremental cost for someone that has a different longevity in each level of care. There are real reasons for us to be very interested in this. There is a real impact to this, but it was very startling to me to see that graphic yesterday. I had no idea how prevalent Alzheimer's was in Ulster County comparatively to other areas of New York State. I knew that it was a problem here. I didn't realize it was such a problem in Ulster County comparatively and relative to our neighboring counties and other areas of the Northeast and within the United States. You should take a look at that graphic, but this is why we need to be having these conversations. So I hope that you do attend that first conversation with Meg Boyce next week from the Alzheimer's Association. But this is really serious business, and we're going to continue to advocate for this. We need to see this disease go away. Okay, a couple of other things. We've got a couple of just update types of things. We have been looking at lots of different things with the Sustainability Committee. One of the things that we as an operational decision that we've decided to try this year and see how it goes. We have been in an every other year cycle with window washing because of COVID. We're going to actually skip window washing this year and see how the windows go, because actually the window washing process takes a huge amount of water because we actually use our tap water to wash the windows, and it's a humongous water user. And we're going to skip the window washing this year from a sustainability perspective, and we're going to see how they come. If it's an epic failure, then we'll go back to every year window washing, but it really is a real resource sucker. So from a sustainability perspective, we decided this year we're going to skip it and see how that goes. Okay, I think the last thing I wanted to mention is we are going to be putting a form in all independent living resident mailboxes today with a memo on it. And I'm going to talk about this again tomorrow at the management Q&A. This is called a Healthy Connections consent form. This is actually something that we're doing as part of the new resident move-in packet automatically now from a marketing perspective. This is a new program that New York State has initiated within the last several years. But for those residents that have already lived here, you didn't go through this process when you moved in, and we need to get you caught up. What this is it's optional. I want to make sure that that's clear. It's optional, but we're really asking for it. We're really encouraging it. But what this does is it allows us for access to your medical records when you go into the hospital, and it's extremely important from a continuity of care perspective, so that when you're in the hospital, then you need to go into skilled nursing, that our nursing staff is already able to get access to what you are, where you're at when you're in the hospital, so that when you come into skilled nursing, it's a seamless transition of care. And the reason that New York State did this is so that those medical records can automatically come into our system. And it's great. It really works very well, but this didn't exist many years ago. So we wouldn't have captured it when you moved into Woodland Pond. And again, the newer residents that are coming into the pipeline now, we do it right at the beginning through marketing when you sign all those papers, but you wouldn't have had it if you had lived here, until very recently. So for all the existing independent living residents, we need to get you caught up. For the health center residents, we do that. We've already done this process, or we're doing it now as we go. So we need to do it for independent living. So I'm going to explain this in a memo. We're going to talk about it tomorrow at management Q&A, but I wanted to talk about it today. So that will be a healthy connections consent form. It's only going to be applicable for when you're in the hospital. And again, it's just for our medical staff in skilled nursing to be able to access your medical records when you are in the hospital, to be able to see what you have, what your needs are, so that by the time you come into skilled nursing, all of our clinical questions are answered. We're able to see what, tests you've had, what your diagnoses are, what physical therapy you've had. All those things have happened in the hospital, so that our nursing staff, our medical staff in skilled, can just get you into skilled nursing. Their questions are answered. This is very, very helpful, because historically, what used to happen before hospitals were crazy and so short-staffed is when you were in the hospital, our nurses in skilled nursing, or Mary Jo or Angel, would be able to call the hospital and say, "Hi, I'm calling about Mrs. Smith that's in the hospital. Can you please give me an update?" And you'd actually be able to talk to a human being nurse at the hospital, and they would give you an update. But now, when you call the hospital to get an update on a resident, you don't get a human being on the phone. They don't answer the phone, or they'll say, I can't take a call right now, I'm too busy, we're short-staffed, or whatever. So we can't get that transition of care. So oftentimes when you come to us, whether you come back to independent living or you go to skilled nursing or whatever the case may be, you're coming back and we're completely blind. So we don't necessarily know your needs. And that is not a good transition of care. So New York State putting this option out there is excellent from a care transition perspective, but we need to get those consent forms so that we can get access to that, and only you can consent to that. So we will explain this in a memo, but you should look for those forms in your independent living cubbies by the end of the day today. And we're going to put 2 in every mailbox for couples, and then I'll have extra copies there in the mailroom, and we will go from there. We'll talk about this again tomorrow at management Q&A, and we hope we see you there all at 1:30 tomorrow. Thanks so much. Bye.